Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of ChargePoint, ticker symbol CHPT. And so there are a couple of reasons why I want to be going over this ticker. One is because I had identified in a previous video that 195 would be a good level to stay above, really based on the low of November 17th, following this big gap down. And as you might notice, the close of the day, November 28th, was 193, so below that level of 195. And the low of the day was $1.79, making a new all-time low for the stock, which is, not that great. But one thing that might be kind of encouraging is in previous videos, I had drawn this downtrending line based on the low of October 26th and again the low of November 17th. You can see the two pivot points there. And so I had suspected that might serve as downtrending support with these three tails of the candles touching that, this other one here, and it looks like the low of the day 179 was slightly above that downtrending support, so that's potentially some good news. However, with the close being below 195, that's maybe not such great news. However, the shape of the candle for the day is a hammer candle, or perhaps a dragonfly candle, or doji, with this big tail coming down, going back up, closing back up near the top, suggesting that there's a lot of buying below this level of 193. So that's some good news there, even though it was a red day with a overall drop of about 3% for the day. It could have been a lot worse had it closed lower. And so, with this, one thing that I think is pretty important is you might notice this E right here. That's for earnings, which I believe are occurring after hours. I might be mistaken about that, but I believe after hours on December 6th. So that's going to be, let's see, I believe Wednesday next week. So I believe that's Wednesday next week. So potentially that will coincide with some volatility, and with this big gap to the upside, with that big drop, it could be volatility to the upside. So that could be a good, if it is good earnings, it could be a turnaround for the stock to not only fill this big gap that was recently formed, that would be going up to about $3 in order to fill it. Precisely, it would be $3.03 based on the low of November 16th. But there was also this other gap that had been formed. Filling that one would be going to about $2.90. So with, really like a lot of gaps to the upside, there is some potential for, an upside push next week following earnings. And so, with that being said, the RSI is right around 30. It looks like for the day, it was $31.62. So nearly in oversold territory, which would be below 30. However, if I switch to the weekly time frame, so the candles are represented by weeks, the RSI is at 24.36. It's been below 30 since basically the end of September. So it has been oversold. That suggests that there could be an upside push in the near future. Again, perhaps following earnings. And then these other lines that I have drawn up here, I did go over them in previous videos, but I did change the color of them to represent resistance in red and potential support in green. And so that's really just based on where this red level is at $2.46, or right around $2.50. You see this sideways action, this consolidation. So that's going to be hard to break above. That's going to serve as resistance. But once above that level, this consolidation will then serve as support. So that's why I have the green line there. And then again, with this red line at $2.69, consolidation above that, that's going to be resistance. But then once breaking above that, there might be some support around 280, and then potentially resistance at 290.5, which is the low of, let's see, November 14th. However, there is also this other gap that I had mentioned, this bigger gap, that in order to fill that, that would be going to $3.03. So, who knows what happens with earnings? It can always be crazy. It could always be surprising. And so with the price being so low and on the weekly time scale being very clearly oversold, I have hope that with earnings, both of these gaps going up to over $3 a share could be possible. However, with this downtrending support line that I have drawn here, it is possible that price could be going down to as low as 160, 150 before earnings. And if that is the case, I would suspect that earnings would result in a pop and a gap fill, and possibly even going up to this yellow line at $3.30. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.